recent analysis reveals a troubling reality. President Donald Trump's One Big Beautiful Bill is poised to accelerate the timeline for cuts to Social Security benefits, a crucial lifeline for many Americans. For countless older citizens, the income derived from Social Security is not merely a bonus. It is an essential source of financial support that helps maintain their quality of life. For over 2 decades, Gallup has been conducting surveys among retirees to assess their dependence on Social Security income. Year after year, between 80% and 90% of those surveyed indicate that their Social Security payments are a significant or minor source of income. This statistic underscores the importance of these benefits in helping retirees manage their living expenses. In an ideal world, lawmakers, including President Trump, would prioritize the long-term viability of Social Security. However, recent findings from the Social Security Board of Trustees suggest that this is not the case. Alarmingly, Trump's major tax and spending legislation is projected to hasten the timeline for widespread cuts to Social Security benefits, according to a new analysis. So, how soon could these cuts occur? Estimates indicate that significant reductions in benefits could be just 8 years away. Before we delve into the implications of Trump's newly enacted law, it's essential to understand the challenges facing America's primary retirement program. Since the first Social Security checks were issued in 1940, the Social Security Board of Trustees has released annual reports detailing the program's financial status. These reports provide transparency regarding how funds are collected and allocated. One of the most critical components of these reports is the long-term financial forecast. This projection considers changes in fiscal and monetary policies, as well as demographic trends, to assess the program's financial health over the next 75 years. Since 1985, every report has highlighted a long-term unfunded obligation, indicating that the anticipated income over the next 75 years will not be sufficient to cover the program's expenditures, which primarily consist of benefits and administrative costs. As of the 2025 report, this unfunded obligation has escalated to a staggering $25.1 trillion. While this figure is alarming, the more pressing concern is the trustees' prediction that the Old Age and Survivors Insurance OASI Trust Fund will deplete its reserves by 2033. The OASI Fund is responsible for disbursing monthly payments to retirees and survivors of deceased workers. It's important to clarify that even if the OASI runs out of its asset reserves, it can still make payments to eligible beneficiaries. However, the depletion of these reserves would indicate that the current payout schedule, including regular cost of living adjustments, COLAs, is no longer sustainable. According to the trustees' report, if the OASI's reserves are exhausted, sweeping benefit cuts of up to 23% may be necessary within 8 years. Now let's analyze how Trump's big, beautiful bill exacerbates this financial strain. The timeline for potential benefit cuts is not fixed. In late July, Senator Ron Wyden, the top Democrat on the Senate Finance Committee, requested an assessment from the Social Security Administration's Office of the Chief Actuary, OACT, regarding the financial implications of Trump's legislation on the Social Security trust funds. On August 5th, the OACT provided its findings, revealing that Trump's tax and spending law would indeed accelerate the timeline for benefit cuts. The analysis highlighted changes in tax collection that are expected to negatively affect the Social Security program starting this year. Some of these changes include increasing the standard deduction for seniors aged 65 and older from 2025 to 2028. Allowing eligible workers to deduct up to $25,000 in reported tips from their federal taxable income during the same period. Permitting eligible workers to deduct a portion of their overtime pay from their federal income tax from 2025 to 2028. These provisions are significant because 91% of Social Security's income is derived from the 12.4% payroll tax on earned income, with an additional 3.9% coming from the taxation of Social Security benefits. The tax-reducing measures outlined in the Big Beautiful Bill are projected to increase costs for the OASI and Disability Insurance, DI trust funds, by a combined total of $168.6 billion from 2025 to 2034. This anticipated decrease in income collection has serious implications. The new estimated depletion date for the OASI's asset reserves has shifted from the third quarter of 2033 to the fourth quarter of 2032. For the combined OASI and DI trust funds, the depletion date has moved from the third quarter of 2034 to the first quarter of 2034. While the OACT's analysis indicates that Trump's legislation will worsen the financial outlook for Social Security, it is crucial to understand that the root causes of the $25.1 trillion long-term funding shortfall are primarily demographic in nature. Several demographic trends have been contributing to Social Security's financial challenges. For instance, the retirement of baby boomers is significantly impacting the worker-to-beneficiary ratio. Additionally, life expectancy has increased dramatically since the first Social Security checks were issued, meaning the program was never designed to support retirees for such extended periods. Moreover, some demographic shifts are less visible but equally concerning. The U.S. fertility rate reached an all-time low in 2024, which will lead to increased pressure on the worker-to-beneficiary ratio in the future. Net migration into the U.S. has significantly declined since the late 1990s. Younger legal migrants typically contribute to Social Security through payroll taxes, so fewer migrants mean less income for the program. Rising income inequality allows more earned income to escape the payroll tax. In 2025, all earned income from $0.01 to $176,100 is subject to this tax. But the upper limit has not kept pace with the earnings of high-income individuals, resulting in a larger portion of income avoiding taxation. While these demographic changes are significant, the lack of action from lawmakers to address Social Security's challenges also plays a role in the program's struggles. Although there are numerous proposals aimed at strengthening Social Security circulating in Congress, reaching a consensus between the two major political parties has proven to be exceedingly difficult. In conclusion, while Trump's tax and spending law is expected to exacerbate the challenges facing Social Security over the next decade, it is essential to recognize that these issues stem from deeper, systemic problems that require urgent attention. What are your thoughts on this situation? Do you believe that the proposed changes will ultimately benefit or harm Social Security? We invite you to share your opinions in the comments.